Hey, welcome to Fit Dressed Muse. I'm Regine. I hope you had a great week and are looking forward to the weekend and have all kinds of exciting things planned. So today is the first official day. Yesterday was the introduction, I guess, of the goal reveal series that I'm doing. So I used Live Your Best Life. I didn't bring it with me, but it has 10 domains, he calls them, of your life, and I've always set 10 goals, so it was kind of good for me to use those 10 goals and look at specific areas in my life that I want to improve. So that's what I based I have a goal from each area, and so that's what we'll be going over the next 10 days. I'll be sharing my goal and my process, or my thought process, but you can always, the goal is, or my goal is, or my hope is that you will see how this applies to you and see if it helps you to set some intentional goals that help you grow and progress in a kind, loving way. We don't need to make these big, huge goals that might not be obtainable, and so the goal is to just be tender and loving and help us to grow, because when we're growing, that is when we are truly happiest. We're happier often making the journey, making progress, than we are actually achieving the goal. Sometimes there's kind of a letdown after we meet a goal. So by continually just working to improve and progress with the person we want to be, then we are able to be a lot happier than pushing ourselves really hard all the time. Let me see if I can get Facebook to play nice. Bear with me one moment. And is it here? Oh. Try again. So thinking about it. Gotta love the internet and Facebook and trying to get all the pieces working together. And let's see, I think I'm right here. I can get this pulled up. Right. Or not. Okay. It's not gonna play nice today. Sorry about that. So, go back. So today, the first domain that we're going to talk about is spiritual domain. And I talked earlier that one goal had me stuck, and that was my spiritual goal. I used to, be really involved in church and with Cub Scouts, and I did all these things, and then life just changed, and I took a step back and really wanted to determine what my spirituality was about, not about what somebody somebody else thought it should be or what it should look like. So I really have taken the last few years to step back and just do some soul searching and figure out what spirituality is to me. I believe there's a difference between being religious and being spiritual, and I probably got more caught up in being religious. I still consider myself a very spiritual person, but I was definitely more caught up in the religion part than, I don't know, not maybe than the spiritual part, but that was a big part, and that's kind of how I measured everything, was, by the religious part. So, but now, I've had time to just kind of focus, and one of the parts that I missed the most about being religious was that it had a built-in way to volunteer or serve others, and just with all the life changes, I was probably more in survival mode, so there wasn't a lot of I volunteered here and there, or I made it a point to be a nice person, and I smiled and I opened up doors, and I did those types of little acts of kindness, which are awesome, and I want, that's just kind of who I am, and that's that's in line with what I want to be. But I do miss being a little more intentional with my volunteer work, and I've talked about that here also. So just trying to figure out a way, something a little more structured. So just if it's not structured, I know it'll kind of stay on the, oh yeah, I mean to do that, or it just won't happen as concretely for me. So, but then also I'm very careful about the organizations that I want to volunteer for. I want to make sure I'm part of an organization that really gives to its cause, not to its CEO. So I guess maybe I overthink it too much. So, but I had a hard time, and then also I still have a limited amount of time, and there was something I was wanting to do that I was interested in doing, and just the timeline didn't work out. So I have to be realistic in what I have to give too, and I'm trying to not push myself and fill every second of the day and then feel like a failure when I can't do everything. So all of those things I was just struggling, and so at first it kind of seemed like a cop-out, but it is what it is. But it's progress for me, and it's just a baby step, and I'm going to take my baby step and I'm going to embrace it and be happy with it. And so my spiritual goal for 2020 is to research different volunteer organizations. I have a list already, a few, I think there's like 5 or 6 that I just kind of jotted down, and I wanted to do a little more research. So my goal is to do that research and be more familiar with the organizations and what fits my availability and my passion. And so kind of by the end of 2020 to really have a plan of how I want to volunteer. To make it a little more meaningful to me, I know I got some comments on Facebook or social media, one of the social media places, and I'm not the only one. I had one of my friends say, oh yeah, I'm the same way. I've been wanting to volunteer, but I don't know where or whatever. So that inspired me to take my research and to share it here. So I will be sharing posts on Facebook or Instagram or my email list about different organizations that what I found about them, and what kind of they need, and my own little vetting process, if you will, about just who's part of that. For my research is to make sure that that a majority of the money goes to the cause than the organization itself. That's important to me. So those are the types of things I'll be sharing. But sharing that research with you, number one, if you are one of those people who are interested in volunteering but don't really know the best way or where to go, or just, it's kind of doing some of the legwork with you. So it's hopefully I'm helping you out with that. Helping myself, obviously, and also by sharing the information will help the organization just get a little more exposure and help more people to know about them and what they do. So that's my spiritual goal, is was to give back, and that is the way I'm choosing to give back this year. So on that note, if you do have suggestions for some charities that you've worked with or some organizations that you have some information about, I would love all your input. I will go through and share what I can as I share the ones that touch my heart, and I'll share those with you guys so that you have that information. And so that's that goal. What are your spiritual goals also? It's something that is that you are interested in, or how do you give back? I'd love to hear your ideas too. I think when we all share everything here, we build this community, and everybody is better off. When we that whole groupthink thing, we can have more ideas and more resources when we share what we know. And so it's like between all of us, we know a lot. So just me, maybe not so much, but when we work together, that's a great way. So Please share, organizations, share your way of giving back, share your goals to be more spiritual or to fine-tune what that is to you. And also, if you can like the page, like the post, head over to the Etsy shop. There are lots of ways to get your own touchstones to kind of help you with your goals. It's just a way to have a visual reminder, or just a reinforcement of where you're trying to go with your own personal development. So please do all those things. If you are in Arizona, tomorrow I will be at the Gilbert Made with Love market. Would love to see you there. So there will be no live tomorrow because I'll be setting up my booth and all that good stuff. So but definitely come by and say hi. And I think that is everything I have. So I will be back on Sunday morning, probably around 9 Mountain Time. And again, share your spiritual goals and any organizations. If you missed it, I'm going to be reviewing, just doing some research on some of them, organizations that are meaningful and have a lot of their money and attention going to their actual cause, and I'll be sharing those with on the Facebook and on social media to help you if you're doing the same kind of research. And so that's the spiritual goal. Share your spiritual goals, share your charity organization that might help with my research. And tomorrow, if you're in Arizona, come see me at the Gilbert Made with Love show. And I think that is everything for today. So I will be talking to you on Sunday. And in the meantime, I hope that you take care of you. Have a great day and a great weekend.